You wake up in the middle of the night, not in your bed, but in a freezing, damp cave. No phone, no food, no fire. Outside, something growls in the darkness. You're barefoot, you're alone, and you have no idea how to make it through till sunrise. Now imagine this. Your ancestors lived like this for thousands of years. And not just survived, they thrived. But could you survive even 24 hours? Let's find out what it really took to stay alive in a world without mercy, where everything from starvation to saber-toothed cats was trying to kill you. Welcome to the Paleolithic hellscape. The moment you open your eyes, your instincts scream that something is wrong. There's no buzzing phone, no hum of electronics, only the distant howl of wind outside and the dripping of water echoing off the stone walls around you. Welcome to the Paleolithic. This is not some romanticized version of the noble savage trope. You're not meditating under waterfalls or foraging for berries with a smile. You are a weak, soft-skinned, shivering mace dropped into one of the harshest environments Earth has ever known. Within the first hour, you're in danger. Not in the abstract way modern life presents danger, like a late bill or bad Wi-Fi, but in the literal teeth-at-your-throat sense. You don't know how to build a fire. You don't know what's edible. You have no tools. You don't even know which direction the sun sets in. And your body? It's completely untrained for this world. Every calorie you burn panicking is one less you'll have when it comes time to escape predators or outrun a human who sees you as competition. Imagine your feet, blistering on rocky, uneven terrain. Your hands, shredded the first time you try to climb a tree or sharpen a stone. Your eyes, wide in the darkness, scanning for movement you can't even identify. This isn't just survival, it's humiliation. You're not equipped, you're not welcome, and the world around you, it doesn't care. Hunger, hunting, and the taste of raw survival. It doesn't take long before your stomach starts twisting. Hunger is no longer a mild discomfort. It's a slow, crawling panic. And that's when you realize you have no idea how to get food. In the Paleolithic era, food didn't exist unless you killed it, trapped it, or found it before something else did. Forget breakfast. You're in a constant state of desperation. You spot a rabbit. It's fast. You chase it, of course, but after just a few minutes of stumbling through rocks and thorns, you collapse, out of breath, bloody, empty-handed. Now imagine doing that every single day. Cavemen weren't just hunters, they were marathon-level athletes. Persistence hunting wasn't about speed, it was about endurance. Ancient humans would chase prey for hours, outlasting them through sheer stamina. That's a skill you've never trained for, so maybe you try foraging. Seems safer, right? Wrong. Some berries will feed you, others will kill you in hours. Paleolithic humans passed down deep generational knowledge, what plants were edible, how to cook roots to remove toxins, which mushrooms to never touch. You have none of that. It's Russian roulette with your own digestive system. Then there's the bugs. Yes, the bugs. High in protein, easy to catch, and utterly revolting to modern sensibilities. Grubs, beetles, worms. You might gag, but in this world, they could mean the difference between life and death. Even water isn't safe. Streams carry parasites. Drinking the wrong puddle could leave you vomiting for days. Days you won't survive without help. The idea of 3 meals a day, gone. If you find a few mouthfuls of edible calories in 24 hours, that's a win. If not, starvation sets in fast. The weather will kill you first. You thought hunger was bad? Try exposure. In the Paleolithic, humans had one major enemy, the elements. Rain, snow, wind. These weren't just inconveniences, they were killers. There's no central heating, no blankets, no rain jackets. If the temperature drops and you don't have shelter, you die. Your clothes, if you even manage to find any animal hide, are stiff, crude, and nearly useless without proper curing and insulation. Prehistoric humans wore multiple layers of fur, learned to insulate their caves with moss and bark, and huddled together for body heat. You're shivering under a rock, hoping it doesn't rain. If it does, hypothermia will set in within hours. Sunburn is just as dangerous. In open plains with no sunscreen and no shade, the UV exposure could blister your skin, sap your energy, and leave you vulnerable to infection. Every small injury becomes a threat. Then there's shelter. Building a decent one takes time, experience, and materials you don't know how to use. Ancient people constructed lean-tos from branches, layered with animal skins, insulated with mud. They knew wind direction. They studied terrain. They engineered survival. You pile up a few sticks, lay under them, and pray it doesn't collapse while you sleep. Night falls. It's colder now. The wind cuts like knives, and you realize, again, you have no fire, not because you forgot, but because you don't even know where to begin. The skill of making fire from scratch takes weeks, if not months, to master. Without it, you won't survive the night. Everything wants you dead, including other humans. You think lions are scary. Try a prehistoric hyena, bigger, meaner, smart enough to stalk humans in packs, or a cave bear, or a giant cat that can smell blood from half a mile away. You are prey. The scent of your fear, delicious. The sound of you stumbling around in the dark, an invitation. But animals weren't the only threat. Other humans were often the most dangerous thing you could encounter. Food was scarce. Territory was everything. If another tribe saw you as competition, or even just weak, you were as good as dead. They didn't negotiate. They ambushed. They used crude but lethal weapons. Clubs, spears, obsidian blades that sliced through flesh like butter. You might imagine a noble exchange of grunts and gifts. Reality? A rock to the skull. A spear to the gut. The last thing you hear might be someone else's war cry. Trust didn't exist outside the tribe. And you're not part of any tribe. Even if you find other people, chances are they'll see you as a threat. Or worse, an easy source of calories. Yes, cannibalism wasn't unheard of in the Paleolithic. In desperate times, the line between man and meat blurred. There are no rules here, only survival. How prehistoric people actually survived. It's easy to assume early humans were dumb brutes, but in reality they were geniuses of survival. They read the stars to migrate with the seasons. They tracked animals through broken twigs, faint footprints, and even the scent of dung. They could identify hundreds of edible plants and knew how to prepare each one. Fire wasn't just heat, it was safety. It scared away predators. It cooked food to unlock more nutrients. It forged social bonds. And speaking of bonds, humans didn't survive alone. They survived together. Tribal life meant shared responsibility. Some hunted, some gathered, some taught, others healed. And then there was communication. Language, even primitive, gave humans a huge advantage. They could warn others of danger, plan hunts, share myths. That's what separated us from every other predator. Not claws or teeth, but stories. Spirituality and ritual also played a role. Cave paintings weren't decoration. They were meaning. Early humans believed in forces beyond themselves. That belief system created unity, purpose, emotional strength. Modern humans think of ancient people as dirty and simple, but they adapted to deadly environments, created tools from stone, tracked lunar cycles, and even performed rudimentary surgery. They weren't primitive. They were brilliant. You're just soft. You versus them. Who would actually win? So let's settle it. You, with your modern brain, tech knowledge, and gym membership, versus a Paleolithic human who's never seen electricity but can build a fire from sticks and kill a deer with a spear. Who wins? It's not even close. Your advantage in a modern setting becomes your weakness here. You've never felt true hunger. You've never hunted. You've never faced death on a daily basis. Meanwhile, your prehistoric counterpart has spent every waking moment since childhood learning how to survive. They know the land. They can endure pain. They don't panic when they bleed. You'd be gasping for air on your first run, crying the first night it gets cold, starving by the second day, dead by the third. They would thrive. Even your immune system is no match. You're vulnerable to bacteria they've adapted to over generations. You're likely to get sick from water they can drink without issue. Sure, you've got intelligence, but theirs is practical. Yours is theoretical. Unless you brought a fully stocked survival kit and watched 30 hours of YouTube bushcraft videos beforehand, you're toast. The truth is, they were stronger, tougher, smarter in the ways that mattered. You wouldn't survive 24 hours. Conclusion and call to action. The world our ancestors lived in wasn't just dangerous, it was merciless. And yet somehow, they made it. Not just survived, but evolved, adapted, dominated. They didn't have smartphones, but they had fire. They didn't have delivery apps, but they had the courage to chase a mammoth with a stick. Next time you complain about a cold shower or a cracked phone screen, remember, you're the product of people who fought through ice ages, starvation, and wild beasts just so you could exist. Feeling lucky? If you enjoyed this brutal journey into the ancient world, hit that subscribe button. And if you think you could survive 24 hours as a caveman, let's hear your strategy in the comments. Or better yet, prove us wrong. We'll be watching.